We live. What's good, everybody? It's Game Talk. I'm Gangster. I'm here with RevTech,
What's up, fellas?
Brimstone, and my boy Blue.
Janet, we backed on service.
I didn't understand that. Did anybody else understand that?
No, I just heard. We're.
Blue, get the cock out of your mouth before you talk again.
Fuck you mean food. Degenerate, we back and on duty.
All I heard was mumbling.
Right.
Yeah, hear me? Fuck you. Whatever.
How's everybody doing today? I know Brimstone's still a little tired, waking up. Gotta get the groggy out.
Enjoying the new football league that's happening on TV. Or not
Yep.
new, reimagining.
Redone, yeah, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. What about you, Blue? How you been?
I've been actually pretty ass. I've been having a great week. This has been a great week for me.
Great.
Got so much shit done with. Yeah, I know. Got so much shit done with.
Any Rev, are you ready to play?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's everyone been playing?
I haven't really been playing
Warframe.
anything.
I've been playing Warframe
this weekend. I've been working on a computer business type deal all week.
What about you, Brem? What you been playing?
The most I played this week was I played a couple of nights ago with the guys. We played some Call of Duty, but that's all I played. I haven't really done much this week. I've been working my ass off.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And you, Blue? Anything other than Destiny 2?
Actually, you're wrong. I've been playing a lot of stuff this week. I was playing some Star Wars this week. I've been playing some fake Grand Order on my phone. I also beat GTA 5 and I was playing GTA 4 a bit this week as well. And spent money on Grand Order because I'm a degenerate.
Jack was asking, can I be a guest on the show sometime?
I don't know about
that. Maybe overtime. I'm
not the one who makes that call. Yeah, overall, Degenerate Weeb does what a Degenerate Weeb does, and also watches. I've been watching JoJo this week, and I'm gonna finish JoJo up and get the Steins Gate on my next list.
Oh, you've been playing those mobile games, huh?
Yeah. I spent $80. Actually, I spent more money today.
He's not only playing mobile games, he's spending money on mobile games. Like, talk about a goddamn hypocrite.
He gave us all shit, man.
I think I spent like, now I'm at 150 because I beat the first area and now I gotta grind for Saber Altar. So I'm like, I'm just gonna get some packs. And then I didn't get Saber Altar because I'm sad. Other than that, I've had a great week. Great week for me. Being a hypocrite, society's greatest virtue.
Oh, Jesus, that's a Farah.
Yeah. So that's about it for me. Great times, everyone.
Cool, I guess. Oh, Jesus. Man, they're all
and
around
also
us.
I've been getting into watching the new football league now, because fuck the NFL.
No, you're just salty because you lost money on the Super Bowl.
Well, no, I don't blame Blue for wanting to watch better hitting football.
I'm literally watching it right now on my right monitor, and I'm just like, yes, please, this is amazing. I did lose money. I am also mad about that.
Thank you, Vince McMahon and Andrew Luck's father, Oliver Luck, for coming up with a league that's actually better than the NFL.
All you gotta do is just make sure you never bet on San Francisco because they're a trash team from a trash city. Bang!
Oh.
Damn, dude. Talking shit about my team, bro.
I don't care. They're trash.
Well, they haven't been relevant since the 90s anyway. They lost in the Lights Out Super Bowl.
Well, they had... Oh, what? I shadow form.
They were gonna...
They had the Super Bowl before, but yeah, they brought it back. Oh, yeah, I don't know.
They were gonna... Dude, you know, watch, they were gonna win, but then, fucking Kansas City's like, nah, yo, we're gonna just put our animals on front here and just win. And then, like, they got murdered. And, the last half of the game, they got murdered. That was not even a game. It was just manslaughter that happened there.
They got manhandled.
That happened before too, where they brought it back.
Hey,
God
hey,
damn
and
it.
that's not even talking about the legend Jerry Rice with all of his what was that? All that tar on his hands to catch those balls.
I know, right?
You know, before
Jesus.
before the cheating of the Patriots, there was the 49ers. I'm sorry, Pete. I had to go there.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But they were legendary though. They won like 5 Super Bowls in a row. They're like next to the Patriots for amount of Super Bowls. Joe Montana couldn't be stopped. I will admit this.
No,
Tom
like,
Brady's probably
dude,
gonna
I've
surpass that.
been pissed off at them ever since they got rid of Jesus.
Kaepernick
Jerry?
blow?
No, fuck Kaepernick, dude. Jesus Christ. Garcia, not Jerry Garcia.
Yeah, Jeff Garcia.
Yeah, and Ahmed Plummer, man. They had the 2 best rookies in the goddamn league, and they traded him away for some bullshit. And it was like, dude, you guys could have 1 more year, because those guys, what the fuck? Those guys almost took him to the Super Bowl on their first fucking year, and then they traded him away for some fucking bullshit, man.
Yeah, they traded him to Cincinnati.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, what are you guys doing, man? You fucking had it. You'd have kept those 2 players, you would have had a Super Bowl team the next year.
Yep.
It would have been fucking great. Jesus Christ, did they up Farrah's damage or something?
No. They buffed the shit out of Symmetra though.
Man.
Again. Well, honestly, I mean, in the show this week, there's some tech deals going on. 2700, 2600, 3600. If you're looking for a good CPU right now, good prices.
Yep.
SSDs are really good. This even with the shortage happening, there's really good SSD deals.
Fuck out of here, Farrah. Yeah, the 2600 was $80.
Yep.
2700 new for 140, I believe.
And the hybrid 1600X AF is literally going for 70, 65. Whatever.
Yeah.
It looks like a modified CPU from AMD. They're just getting whatever they had in stock out.
Oh, one more thing. Sorry. I did get a new SSD yesterday. I'll install it Monday. It's the one you sent me way back.
Which one? The Silicon Power?
Yeah.
Oh,
I got that one, and now I'm just gonna chill out with that one and probably install it, like do all the shit.
What was it, a terabyte?
No. I just got a 500 gig because I'm running low on money. I'm jobless at the moment, so I kind of want to spend money like that. So I just got 500 gig, and I'm only using it for storage, and I'm probably gonna install it Monday, and do all that, and take care of that Monday because I don't want to do it today.
So, Gangster World of Warcraft, man. 3, man, that refund.
You mean Warcraft
Jesus.
3 refunded?
Yeah.
At least they're refunding it. They're now doing automatic refunds, which, I mean, sucks, but at least they're refunding it. But,
What up,
yeah.
Arrow?
What up, Arrow? But yeah, some bullshit, man. Skeet shooting. Yeah, crazy, man. Again, like I said last week, they had the Golden Goose. Fucking one of the most popular RTSs of all time. And they just fucked it up in like every way possible. I don't even understand how you.
Some people I know love the game. I don't understand why.
Well, it's like if all you want to do is play Warcraft 3 with better graphics, slightly better graphics, it's like, I guess, I don't know why you wouldn't just play the original, but...
Can you play the original still, or no?
I think they've taken it off. I don't think you can get it anymore. I'm pretty sure you can still play it if you own it, but I don't think you can purchase it anymore, which, fuck you, Blizzard, but, whatever.
They should have just added as an expansion to World of Warcraft Classic, honestly. If they were going to go all this, this direction, just make it an expansion. They kind of dropped the ball with that.
Which is kind of crazy because a lot of people I know, like a lot of people I know who I usually hang out at the gym with, they all of them are playing Warcraft. Like I said, Warcraft like classic. They're not even playing like the new version of World of Warcraft. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah. But you know, it is what it is, right?
I mean, Blizzard's finally doing something, but it's like, man, this is why I like
It
Steam.
took them 3
'cause you don't
weeks
have
too
phones.
long.
Yeah,
Yep.
everyone hates him now, and rightfully
And
so. 'Cause
their apology was bullshit too. Like they they put out an apology, you know,
a fake apology.
press release, whatever. Well, but this is the thing. It's like it was a total goddamn. It was a total gaslight apology. It was one of those like, "Oh, I'm sorry you feel this way," type of things. They were I think the exact wording was, "We're sorry that fans
Your
feel let
experience.
down." Yeah. That your experience
Like
is
that
not,
old
you
PR
know.
statement.
Oh my God! It's like no. That's not what you should be sorry about. You should be sorry that you fuck shit up. Like, yeah, because you guys did fuck shit up, and don't even pretend like you fucking didn't. Because like it's not even, yeah.
Yeah,
GG.
my Warcraft 3 isn't even on my list. Only the Reforged is, because these motherfuckers decided to do away with custom maps and shit. So
Blame
because of
that on Activision. I'm gonna blame it on both. Both fucked up.
This is I know like we like to blame Activision, but I don't think we can solely blame Activision for this. I think this is a lot of Blizzard's fucking up too. Activision obviously they're not
Well,
good,
here's
but
the
it's
thing.
just like
Blizzard did. I mean, Activision and Blizzard did a great job on Call of Duty, right? To a certain extent. Then they go and make this, and then they just every momentum they have, they take 10 steps back. I've been saying this for a while. Like, you're not going to release a StarCraft 3 or a remaster. You're going to not give the
I don't
fans what
think
they want.
there's already a StarCraft remaster though, isn't it?
Well, what I'm saying is they're not giving what the fans really want. Like, I get StarCraft, I get you know, World of Warcraft 3, you know, I get it, but that's not what fans were asking for. They've been asking for StarCraft for like, I don't know, forever. Like, they've been on their knees begging for it. Like, give them what they need.
Wasn't there already a remaster though, StarCraft?
Yeah, there was.
I thought the remaster was ideal though, but I think people
Well, I
didn't
mean,
want to
it was
remaster.
good.
it
That was
was
a good remaster. That's
it was,
I
and it
mean,
was real simple, and that was the thing. Like that's people liked the StarCraft remaster because it was real simple. It was just widescreen support, better textures, but otherwise they didn't really change the game at all.
And you can go back to your original graphics if you really want. So I mean that's what people like that as well. I think people maybe didn't want a Warcraft remaster. I think people
Isn't it weird? Isn't it weird? EA is doing very well for themselves. They're making up things, and meanwhile,
No,
Blizzard's
right?
just going
they fixed,
downhill.
How
they
did
fixed Star Wars
Blizzard?
Battlefront.
A company
did-
that we all love.
How did Blizzard become the fucking evil empire and EA is doing everything right? Like Battlefield 5, they're releasing. That's now the second free DLC that they
And
released for Battlefield
they're also
5.
giving us. They also said DLC going forward is going to be free, just like that. Where
Also,
they're
I
going to make you
think-
pay. Where
I
they're going to
think-
make you pay for cosmetics. That's about it.
I think the reason this is happening, like with Battlefield 5 and also for EA, is because they fell in their head really hard and actually felt money laws. Because Blizzard
Well,
hasn't
no,
really
you
felt
had
money laws.
governments going in and really hitting them hard with fines. So they had to do something.
And they actually lost money. Like they were losing money too.
They had to do something to make that money back.
And their reputation was drained away. Like 'cause there's so much PR you can do before your reputation just goes like in the toilet.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So like that's the reason like EA actually fixed itself.
Well, now
Until that
I'm kind
happens,
of interested. I'm interested in literally what they're gonna do with Anthem, because they did say they were bringing some free DLC and stuff to fix that game. So I'm kind of
That's gonna
interested
take a lot
in
more
what they're
than
gonna
that.
do.
I mean, for Anthem to fix that
Well,
game,
I haven't played it. I haven't played it since the launch of it, so I have to see what they're doing with it.
for Anthem to fix it to reinvigorate the players they lost because they lost I think like 90% of their player base. They're gonna have to really like I'd say they have to basically rework the entire game from scratch almost.
I think if they rework the game
From scratch.
and they make it cross-platform, they could save it.
Yeah, they could, but it's like they gotta like do a lot of reworking. Which
Hey,
is
and
gonna take a while.
another company, that was that was in Schitt's Creek was Uplay, and Uplay's going crossplay for
Ubisoft?
everything. Yeah, Ubisoft going crossplay.
Yeah, Ubisoft's doing good.
They've
Minor
been doing good
flaws.
moves too lately too.
I've been meaning to play that snowboarding game that they have.
Steep,
Yeah.
where you could do the where you can go and kill yourself in the game by hitting a side of a mountain.
Sounds fun to me.
I mean,
We got to play that.
Ultra realistic.
We got to play the what is it? Division 1 and 2 eventually one of these days. Then Far Cry.
yeah. Like,
New
real
Dawn
quick,
looks
go
like
back-
fun.
Yeah.
To go back to Anthem real quick, to like to fix that game, like they will have to go back from scratch. Like and also if they charge money, kiss it goodbye. Because if they charge money, it's over. Because people are so burned.
EA would be so stupid to do that though.
Honestly, I can't forgive what Activision Blizzard fucked up even with the remastered. Get fucked.
Which
Exact same.
remaster?
Warcraft 3,
Alright,
I'm
Forge.
assuming.
Warcraft, yeah, then.
Refunded.
I
Also-
haven't really, I'll be honest with you, I really haven't played Warcraft like that. I mean, I played a little bit of World of Warcraft, but I didn't really dive into it.
You know what? I look at it this way, because I played the shit out of Warcraft 3. I bought it like 6 times during its life. Like, I bought the digital shit, had everything with it, and then fucking it's gone. So if they're gonna take that shit away from me, they need to give me the Reforge for free to compensate me for the fucking money. I spent full retail on that fucking game, dude.
A lot of
it's not
people-
even
Yeah,
my
same,
fucking-
because I bought it $60 and then 60 for the expansion, and then
I
bought it.
I forgot to mention this. Diablo 4. What's his name for the collective? What's his name?
She knows his
for
name
the-
first.
Cliff Bleszinski's right hand man. He's joining the. He's gonna be the head guy of the Diablo 4 team now.
Okay.
The guy who did
man.
Gears.
Is this
Yeah.
is this the one who fucked up? He made those 2 bad games, the Lawbreakers and whatever the other one was.
No, Cliff. No, Cliff's right hand man is literally gonna be taking over the Diablo 4 team.
I mean, Diablo 4 might be Blizzard's last chance because I don't know, things are not looking good for Overwatch 2. If you like Overwatch that way.
Rod Ferguson, there it is. Rod Ferguson, he's taking over. So if it's anything like Gears 5 and 4, I think Diablo's going to be in a good place.
Also with Warcraft,
And
I
then,
think
and
people.
then watch them put a Unreal Engine on that shit.
Right.
By the way, I think
well,
with
hey, that might be an
Warcraft-
improvement off Blizzard's engine.
I think for Warcraft, people maybe wanted more of a sequel than like a remaster to Warcraft.
No, I'll bet you they would have been happy with a StarCraft style remaster if it was
Sure.
simple.
Well, yeah, we would
Just-
have because
Just
of
improved
fucking-
graphics, no change to
Yeah.
BattleNet, no change to the policy regarding fucking
See, Jack says, I remember
creator
that
maps.
W3 original released in 2002 as it was one of the few games I wanted to have and play the hell out of as a kid.
I mean, yeah, everyone loved it. I never really got into it at the time. 'cause,
I
you know,
didn't.
I didn't either. I wasn't the biggest fan,
I
actually.
wasn't. I wasn't like a fully functioning person in 2003. So
I was still on console at that time. I was living the PS2 life, La Vida Loca.
still
I was
have my
playing-
PS2.
I was playing Solcom, U.S. Navy SEALs. And I was playing, what was it, the upgraded version of Twisted Metal.
Black.
Yep.
Oh shit!
Excuse me. Black was awesome. I love Black. That's Black and the second one were my two favorite Twisted Metal games of all time.
And I was also playing the Konami version of Crash Bandicoot at that time too, which I thought it was pretty good for its time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Aw, damn.
And the GameCube back then too, because I was playing NHL 2003.
I mean, the GameCube is probably one of the best consoles ever.
Well, they released a game on there that I love to this day. It still holds time. Star Fox Adventures. That shit was pretty fun.
Yeah, because Nintendo's great.
That was a rare title, actually.
Star Fox? Wait, I thought that was Nintendo.
No,
Who had
Rare
that shit?
produced that game and everything.
This was back before like they had officially made exclusives. Like this was before exclusive was even a thing.
Yep.
It was a thing, but it was never labeled as such. It was just known that you can only find certain
What's up,
games on
Don?
certain platforms. It never
Yeah,
came
we
out
are doing
with a
overtime today, buddy.
contract.
Yeah, it's cool if you can't make it, dude. Don't worry about it.
That's fair enough, but it's just
So, what's all the topics? So, Reforged.
Birds of Prey.
Sorry, Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey is doing horrible in the box office
Yes.
at the moment.
I'm gonna go
And
see
there's also a lot of sus that a lot of reviews and like the audience score on Birds of Prey are bots. Because journalists and like mainly like people like Tim Pool have been looking into it, and a lot of these reviews for the audience score of Birds of Prey look very sus.
Not wrong.
I'm gonna go
But
see it nonetheless. I want to go see it.
I don't think it's good. I've heard a lot of people talk about it,
Well,
and also
I don't
there's haters.
I don't look at the controversy shit nor the reviews. I just go and form my own shit, man.
I mean, there's some stupid shit in the movie. Apparently, a psycho killer is gonna kill Harley Quinn. You know, in Suicide Squad, their profile picture thing pops up for characters. One of the reasons was stated why he wanted to kill Harley Quinn is because she voted for Bernie Sanders. That's actually in the movie.
That's kind of shitty.
That's retarded.
Yeah, that's some silly shit.
Like that's like not being subtle. That's just being straight. Actually, can I say
Man,
the word?
if I nitpicked every movie like that and dissected, I wouldn't watch movies.
Oh,
Yeah, but that's like above and beyond what a lot of movies go to, though.
that's dumb. It's like
I
what
mean,
the hell?
I already put up with a lot of bullshit with a lot of movies, and that's like, I'm already not a big. This is the thing. If you're a big fan of Harley Quinn and all that, then that's one thing, because, you know, I can totally get that. You know,
I
really
never
liking
liked Harley Quinn. I always thought she was just like the wannabe basic thought for Joker that was really just so one-dimensional. I didn't really care about her.
But yeah, since I'm not really into Harley Quinn or any of those characters.
Did you want to join
I
us for
just-
some Overwatch, Brimstone?
No, I'm playing COD right now.
Oh shit.
Ooh,
Shit, I'll join you
man.
for some COD. There's only a few days left on that pass. I need to kind of
Can I
play.
get
I'll
some
play
heals,
after
Rev?
I'm not healer.
Oh, who's? Oh, it's somebody else. I see.
I don't know, but there's just a lot of controversy. That plus, like I've been seeing like theaters for the premiere, like a lot of them are empty. Like there's a lot of empty theaters for this movie.
So the Oscars, are we watching it or not?
I mean, I'll watch the Crowder.
Also, I think another reason why Birds of Prey fucked, not to fuck it up there again, but 1917 literally came out at around the same time, and that's a great movie. I watched it last night.
Yep, I've seen it twice. It's fucking amazing.
And I don't even go to theaters all often because it's too much work. But it's like, man, what a good
you end
movie.
up seeing? You saw it in theaters?
Yeah, I left.
Because you were
actually
saying you
went
didn't know
outside.
if you wanted to. You didn't know if you
I
wanted to
went
go
outside.
or not.
Yeah, I actually
You
went
went.
outside to go to a theater. It
I
was a
need
lot
to
of
go see
work.
Bad Boys 3 though. That's another one.
That was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't. I was pleasantly surprised with it. Probably it could have been better, but it was good enough. Like I was happy with what they did with it.
I'm fascinated to see how Rush Hour 4 is going to be this year, and Top Gun.
Fuck.
My
Maverick.
parent. It's kind of crazy. My parents, they're a bit old people, and they fucking want to go see Bad Boys. So it's like, yeah, because they were telling me, oh, I watched Bad Boys back in the day. It was so good. And I'm like, okay, thanks, mom. Okay, boomer.
They are marsupials.
Sounds like
The
sounds like
mother
your
rat
mom's
and the
culture.
papa rat. He's
Oh,
like,
okay.
they're humping each other.
It's an okay
Fucking Bad
boomer
Boys too.
moment. I don't know. I've just never really got appealed. Like I never really got into those. Type of
Oh,
movies.
damn it. Yeah, that sucked.
Like I don't think Bad Boys would be my type of movie. That's why I don't think I'm ever gonna watch it.
Rev, what are you doing?
What? I don't really focus on reviews oftenly, man. I form my own reviews, man. I don't look at the controversies half of the time, man.
I don't know.
I just
I
go
have
ahead-
to.
I
I,
did-
don't have the money to
I-
see. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
just enjoy movies and games for what they are.
Yeah, I don't have the money to be just going into shit all the time. You know, like I said, it depends on the franchise. You know, some franchises I'll take a risk, but too many of them, it's like, yeah, I don't have $20 to spend on all these movies and shit.
Also, it's a matter of laziness for me, where I have to look at it because I'm just so lazy to go into a theater. Because like going to a theater, doing all that is like so much work. I know that's like that sounds like a first world stupid nonsense, but it's like it really is too much like nonsense or work to go to a theater. It doesn't help that they have these really comfortable chairs there. That like if a movie's really boring, I'll just fall asleep on those chairs.
Oh, I love the new recliners, man. They're great.
I mean, they're
I
kind
go
of.
to the
Oh,
theaters
no.
that serve
Oh.
beer, whatnot. Half of the time,
mean,
I spend a little bit more.
I mean, the
No,
upside
I
to
was right there. I
recliner,
was right there.
the upside to recliner chairs in theaters now is
Are
that
you in a
now I
game,
can.
Brimstone?
Yeah.
The upside to them is that now you can actually tell if a movie's boring or not because you can actually pass out on the chair. That's the upside to them. You can actually make.
What mode are you playing?
He's not on.
Shipment.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch over to COD for a little bit. I've been playing this all day. Let's switch over to COD.
And that's what's been going on. That anything else that happened this week?
Oh no, the XFL started. We had the Democratic whatever blah blah blah. Who cares?
Trump got acquitted,
Yep.
and
I
then
mean-
Nancy Pelosi tore up his speech like it was
I don't
some
really care
big
about-
statement.
I don't really care about the whole thing. My favorite thing was the whole I want to run everything in your life, and you had the Iowa caucuses that literally fell apart on the scenes.
Oh yeah, that was some funny shit. And they were, what was it?
How do you manage to fuck up an app? How is that even possible?
Well,
I
that's
was like,
Somebody should be fired, man.
if you ask software engineers, like, should we use electronic voting? Every one of them says no. God, no. Like, that's
I say
a
paper
horrible
ballots.
idea. Yeah, like use
I
paper
say paper
ballots
ballots.
because software for voting is just terrible. But I mean, the app just proves that. But yeah, like, what was it? Somebody got caught. I don't know if it was Hot Mic or what, but was it Project Veritas? I can't remember, but yeah, somebody in the DNC got caught basically saying again that they were trying to come up with ways to screw Bernie Sanders out of the nomination
Brimstone, do I have
again.
you as a friend on the PC version? I should, right? So I'm going down my list.
Don't know. I don't see you on there.
Yeah, it's some crazy fucking nonsense.
Which
everything.
I mean, I hate Bernie. He's a fucking raging commie, and
Yeah, he says the Democratic Socialist.
I
Every
don't
time he
think
speaks,
he
he
has
says,
a chance.
Here, I'll
But-
here you can add me. It's just RevTech TV, and then I'll.
I
give you the
mean,
rest
he
of it.
does have a chance. I don't think
No,
saying he doesn't
dude,
have
he
a chance.
doesn't.
He does. Don't get too cocky. Saying he does have. I can't talk easy. Saying he doesn't have a chance is just as foolish as saying Trump can never win.
Here you go, bud. I give it to you.
I don't. Oh yeah, okay, fine. It's
There's
not
my
like he
pound
has
sign.
no
it's RevTech
chance,
TV pound
but-
those numbers.
dude. Like, yeah,
There you
compared
go.
to fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody said, oh, if it was Trump versus Bernie, Trump would have won, or Bernie would have won. It's like, no, he wouldn't have.
No one
Oh
believes that.
wait, There we go. Okay.
Well, lots of people do apparently because they say it all the time.
Core or hardcore? Up to you.
It don't matter to me.
I mean, now I'll just switch up a little bit. What's this whole thing about Apple getting sued? You put that in the title, so I'm really curious.
Not sued. Apple and
sued.
Samsung actually were both fined for basically for planned obsolescence.
Well, it's not
fuck you,
just
widow.
Samsung. It's not just Samsung and Apple. It was a lot of companies in a suit that got sued for slowing down their phones on purpose, degrading batteries on purpose,
Yep.
to causing
Planned
people
obsolescence.
to upgrade.
So
Yep.
bad to the point that when I first got my Samsung's, what was it, 7?
And AT&T got sued all in one because of what they were doing with updates. They were throttling updates or putting bugs in it on purpose to cause people to have to upgrade their phones.
I mean, this isn't very shocking to me.
No,
were you
it's
saying, Brem?
not.
No, I just saying the planned obsolescence thing was so bad that like months, like literally
fuck you,
months
widow.
after I got my Samsung 7 phone, they have the battery's life. Like,
I mean,
and
I saw that.
I asked for a refund and everything. They wouldn't give it to me. I was like,
I mean-
dude, like this is just literally months after you guys launched your brand new flagship, and you're gonna fuck me like that? All right, peace.
I
I'm
saw
done.
this a lot with Apple because
Yeah.
when I used to have my iPhone 7, like this is back when I think the iPhone 8 was coming out. I felt my phone just slowly declining.
Apple's one of the worst offenders, and this is one of the reasons why I refuse to use Apple products. I know.
Well, actually, that
I
was
know-
back then. Now Apple is more. They support your phone for 5 years. Compared
They were
to...
just caught doing it though. They were literally just caught doing it like a few months ago.
I don't know.
And this, I know other companies aren't not blameless. That's not the right word. Innocent in this. Like, oh god damn it. Other companies
Because
like,
I don't
obviously.
know. I don't know about that because I've had an iPad for like 5 years.
Well, that's
same
the thing.
with
They
my
might not
phone.
do it with everything because iPads don't have the same service life that phones have. Phones come out really quick, whereas iPads they're a lot slower on new versions. But
No, on the iPad there, I'm getting the same version as the phone.
they do not
They-
release iPads at the same speed as they release phones. Like there aren't 8.
I mean, that's
What's
true.
what's the newest iPhone version? The 8
No,
or whatever. There's
Uh,
not a
the
there
11.
haven't
It's
been
the
8
11.
versions of the iPad.
True.
But shit. And again, like
English,
Samsung
Pete!
and other companies aren't innocent in this. However, one of the reasons I like Android is because you are not limited with one phone manufacturer with Android. So Samsung's been caught doing this bullshit too, but I don't buy Samsung phones. Like that's one of the good things about Android is that any phone manufacturer can make phones for the Android ecosystem, which means that if a company like this is caught doing some bullshit, you can
Yeah,
always.
but there's a lot of Android manufacturers, and the thing is, what I don't like about Android, I wish they would literally make their software stock and force everybody into it like Windows.
Fuck.
I can't stand the whole fact that they put a skin over on top of it and they slow the shit down dramatically day one when you buy it. I don't
Yeah,
like
but that's
that.
what iPhone does without even the option to get rid of it, because you can always
Yeah, but
take that Android phone and rip out the LG software or whatever.
Yeah, but most people are not going to do that though.
Well, but that's most people. I don't care what most people do. I want the option, and with iPhone, you don't even get the option. So that's the thing. With Android, there's at least choice. With iPhone, there's no choice. You're stuck in their ecosystem. You're stuck in their.
Yeah,
you're
but
stuck
you
with
get
their
See,
hardware.
the thing is, I'm saying is you get optimization. You're supported for 5 years, and the thing is, with Android, you have to play Russian roulette on how long you're going to be supported. You may get versions, and then after that, you get security updates, and after that, they may just
Yeah,
throttle
but who
you at
cares?
that
It still
point.
works.
I mean, your
I could-
iPhone still work.
I could say the same. I could say the same thing about my iPhone.
Well, but what's the? I mean, if your phone still works, then what does it matter if it's supported or not?
Well, to me, it does because that tells me if I need to go upgrade or not. to something better.
I don't understand how you can't do that with Android.
Well, he said you are playing Russian roulette of Android a lot of times.
But I don't understand that. It's not.
Because sometimes with Android phones, you may already be down. Like when you get a new Android phone, you may be down 3 different versions of Android already before you even got the phone.
Sure, but those versions all still work, so what does it matter?
Well, you're not getting the advancements on things like, Google Assistant updates, things like that.
No, the apps still update. It's just the system software that doesn't update.
Not
And-
necessarily.
yes.
Necessarily.
Yeah.
No, not necessarily, because in the OS itself, if it doesn't have that certain OS, you're not getting those updates.
The apps
That's
are
happened
completely
before.
the apps are completely separate from the OS.
No, they're not, because here's the thing: if the OS,
What's up,
let's say
JC?
if I'm running Android, whatever it is, and I don't have the latest, it will not support. It'll say incompatible with this software.
Yeah, with certain, every once in a while, sure, but not Google apps.
Some Google apps, yes.
I've never run into that. But even with that, for most phones, if there is a newer version of Android that's come out, the modding community will make
the
that a
shitty
version of that
part
for
of
that
Android
phone.
is it comes down to the carriers. The carriers take the software and then they distribute it the way they want to distribute it. That's one thing I don't like about Android to begin
Well, again,
with.
but you're not tied to that though. You always have the option of ripping all that out and putting in whatever you want. Again, that's my biggest thing is I like the choice. If I don't like what a specific manufacturer is doing with their operating system, I can yank it out and go with a modded version. If I don't like,
so I could do the same with Apple. It's called jailbreaking, but
sure,
at
but
the end
not,
of the day,
you're still stuck with Apple software though. You cannot rip out the Apple operating system and put in a different one.
yes and no.
I mean, you're still running iOS.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess if
Like,
you care about that stuff,
Apple's
then
version of like I said, it's all Apple's version of that. Whereas I'm not stuck with LG's version of Android. I can always put in the modding community's version of, Pi or Oreo or whatever.
What I'm basically saying is I shouldn't have to rely on a modding community to make my phone.
Well, again, no,
run
it's
better.
not. You don't have to rely on them. You can stick with the factory software, but you have the option. And like I said, I like the option. I always want more options. More options to me is always better than less.
That's why I liked Windows Phone for the longest time.
See, with even Windows Phone though, you're stuck with the Windows OS. You couldn't rip it out and run Android or something else
On
if
my
you wanted.
my
on the Windows
Nokia.
phones? On the
Yeah,
Windows
you
phones?
could.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
You could?
Yeah.
I thought they weren't fully compatible with Android.
No, they're
On my
they
Nokia
were...
Lumia, I could run Android whatever I wanted.
Hmm.
Their bootloader was unlockable.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean the software exists for it. Like there was Android versions that would run on the Windows phone.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, good for them then. I mean, I never liked the Windows phones because I just didn't like the phones themselves. But if they
I
allowed
also
that,
liked
then yeah.
Firefox phone for a while there too, and Ubuntu phone, but that didn't progress into anything special because they didn't. They released it, and then they released it on really crap tier phones. It was really bad.
Yeah,
They
it
released it
happened.
on the Galaxy Nexus S. I mean, my favorite Android phone of all time will be the Galaxy Nexus S products. I loved the stock Android when they released, Nexus phones, not Pixel phones. When they were in the Nexus line was great. And then they went downhill after that.
Fuck off, Junkrat. Yeah, I've never been a fan of Google's actual phones. I've always liked my favorite was always LG. I've always had really good luck with their phones.
LG's not a bad company either. I had a good time with HTC. until HTC got bought out partially by Google, and it just went to shit from there.
The Motorola Androids weren't too bad either.
You know
But-
a company that's sad, right? Is Motorola. What Google did to them, it's
Yeah.
so bad. They stripped them out for everything, and then just gave the scraps to Lenovo, which was kind of sad.
Yeah.
That's a company I felt bad for.
Although now, oh, go ahead.
But Motorola is now trying to come back in the space of things. They're re-releasing modems again, routers, and they're trying to come back and take their phone market back.
Which would be good.
They're
Man,
trying-
I hope they do.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, they started. Lenovo didn't produce the Razer phone. Actually, they're on the name, but they didn't really produce it. Motorola kind of produced that phone themselves, which is a really, really good phone supposedly. But I'm not paying for $1,400 for that thing.
Wait, which phone?
The Motorola Razer. It's got great reviews.
Oh,
but the
yeah,
problem
the
is
Razer, yeah.
$14,000 is not getting me
$1,400.
Yeah, not getting me to buy their shit.
I was
Well,
like, God
hopefully-
damn, $14,000. That better come with a rental for a Lambo for a week or some shit.
Right.
That's
I
really though.
I'm not a fan of the foldable screens. I think the tech just isn't there yet. They scratch too easy. I think they're going to get creases in them and stuff like that, and a whole bunch of other shit. But we'll see how that progress. Because tech is always shitty in the beginning, so we'll see how that progresses. But as far as phones now, though, I have
kinda
to
like
say,
I like
I
what Windows is
am-
doing with their foldables.
I am super happy with my Razer phone.
Oh yeah, you got a huge upgrade.
Dude, it's amazing. Really? Damn, Junkrat has a hard-on for me.
They had that phone for sale at T-Mobile for a while there.
I got mine for $300, which is a hell of a deal. But
I
even
wasn't
if,
so-
even at 500, it's an amazing deal compared to a lot of the other phones that are out right, the Galaxies and shit like that, because it's the best.
Even OnePlus is doing some good shit with the good deals too nowadays. With their phones at 500.
It is the best hardware that I think you can get on the market right now. I don't know of anybody else except for, I don't know what's the new flagship Galaxy, the S10.
Well, the best all around phone right now, like currently.
Not all
right
around.
Now,
What's the top Samsung? Flagship.
The S10 at the moment.
Is it the S10? Okay, yeah. I'm not sure what specific processor the S10 comes with, because I'm not sure if it comes
the
with as good of a
the 855 plus
Snapdragon 855.
Yeah, plus.
Okay, then that's the exact same. That's the exact same one that's in the Razer phone then, and
same exact one in the OnePlus 7T.
but the Razer
7T,
phone is way
7T
cheaper than both of those.
The 7T is literally 500, where the Razer phone is $200 cheaper now, and they're selling it on Amazon like hotcakes.
Yeah. Yeah, because that Galaxy is what, 900.
And another phone that's selling like hotcakes is the A10 from Samsung at $250. A lot of people are buying the shit out of that one.
Yeah, that was the only other phone that I was looking at, because I like mid-size phones I like the top of the line mid-size phones, and the A10 that had the best CPU and GPU setup in the size that I like.
If I got another phone out to the side, it would probably be the Redmi phone. I like the Redmi look, the red and black look that they have going on for it.
The problem is that where I got that Razer phone for $300, the Samsung for their unlocked phones, they want like, they want like
they want
$500 or $600
$1,200.
bucks. Well, for the Galaxy, sure. I think the A10 is like $500 or $600. And it's like, man, that's a $250 phone. I should not be paying $500 for that. And why would I when I could? I mean, even brand new because I got the Razer phone refurbished. Even brand new, the Razer phone is $500. Why would I spend $500 for that Samsung, basically piece of shit, for it unlocked when I can get the Razer phone for the same fucking price, and it's 10 times better hardware. Not to mention the screen, the uh, the sound bars, I mean, there's so many cool wireless charging, the whole thing, man. There's so many cool features on that phone. And because I heard you were telling me, Rev, that the big problem with the original Razer phone was the software. People were complaining about crashes and shit like that.
Yeah, what happened was they bought a company. I think it was called something Next something rather. They bought them out, and then they just took whatever they had already in the works, and then they just released it. And what happened was with that was there was a lot of issues. They really messed up.
So
And then when they released the Razer 2 phone, it was all Razer. It was Nextbit. That's what
I was gonna say. Well, apparently they've fixed all of it, because I have not had
Yeah.
one single problem with any sort of crashing. The only thing I've had is a couple incompatibility issues because the Razer 2 runs Pi, and a couple of my, or at least the big was one of them, is the big one. There's one game that I really like, and unfortunately they have not updated it yet to be compatible with Pi, so I can't play it yet. But obviously that's not Razer's fault. That's the game software dev's fault. But other than that, zero problems. Everything runs fucking flawless. Stupid fast. It's got great battery life. Not so. The one thing is that the battery life is not the greatest when you're running it at full bore. So for super heavy duty games,
Like
it's
COD Mobile.
I don't know about that. I haven't played it yet.
No, I gotta give Razer their due. They sell it at a cheap price. They give you a decent camera, and they give you 120 hertz display. If you run it at full blast, yeah, of course it's gonna run. Of course it's gonna
That's
run.
the thing.
It's,
well, yeah, with 120, it's a 6
well, what do you
or
expect for
5
a $400 phone? What
the
do you expect for a
5.8
$400 phone?
5.8 inch display, 120
Yeah.
hertz. It's got the Snapdragon 855 with the fastest GPU you can stuff in there. You know, and there's a couple other things too. It's
I
like,
think it has 4 gigs of RAM on that thing too.
no, I think it's even more than that. I thought it was 8 gigs. I'll check right
Oh,
now,
if it's
actually.
if it's 8 gigs, damn, that's impressive for $400.
500.
500, that's impressive.
But yeah, so if you're running games full bore, it does not last the longest. But it's got a great app built into it. What's it called?
It's also got vapor chamber cooling.
Cortex Games, which allows you to set, I wish it had a general profile, but it allows you to set per app performance profiles where you can limit the CPU speed, limit the display refresh rate, and a bunch of other things. So like if I'm playing one of my, silly little games, I've played that for hours and still had like 95% battery life left. So it's only when you're using it absolute full bore that the battery life isn't the greatest. But other than that, it's fucking amazing. So if you want a good phone, and they're all unlocked, and they work with, as far as I know, all SIM card carriers. It can't do Verizon because Verizon does use SIM cards, and then one other, I can't remember. It's either Sprint or AT&T. So whichever ones don't use SIM cards, you can't use this phone with. But for anybody else, it's completely unlocked, and it should work with all U.S. carriers and some international. There's an international version of it, but even the U.S. version should work with a bunch of international ones too.
The only way I would switch back to Android is when the OnePlus 8 does release. That's a phone I'm very interested in. Because there's one feature that I can't stand, that they quick charging they cheap out on, and wireless charging. 2 things. I gotta have those 2 features on standby at all times. Wireless charging is a big thing to me.
Well, there's a bunch of Androids that have wireless charging now. I mean, this one does, and most of the new Samsung ones have it too. Let's see. God damn it, where the fuck is?
And I like having a massive phone. That's just me.
See, that's the other thing I
Massive.
don't like about it is how big it is. It's not the biggest, but it's still a little too big for my taste. But that's just the way phones are going these days. So I don't think there is.
It's better on my eyes because I can't see very well. So bigger the screen, the
Man,
I mean, the only downside is being more portable with your phone. I remember when phones were insanely tiny, well, not tiny, but it's like they were really small, like the flip phones from back in the day.
I remember when me and Brimstone had the Evo 4G with the stand.
Those
was
were
epic.
small. Dude, I still have my
Yeah.
Evo and it's small, dude.
I still have my HD2 with
I got
Furlio
Val's.
on it.
I got Val's Evo and it's tiny. Yeah.
With Furlio, I remember when they came out with Windows Mobile just before Windows 7 phone came out, and I had what is it, the HD2 with Furlio on it. I remember when I was able to mod that thing on a SD card, a micro SD card when they were first coming out.
Yeah.
Shit was kind of lit.
man.
But they don't make phones like that anymore. All metal design, where you drop them and they're like
That's
tanks.
unfortunate. Yeah. Or even like my old Sony. My old Sony had a nice aluminum frame, and the entire phone was sealed, so it was waterproof up to like 15 feet, and it was nice and small. It had a stupid fast processor for the time, like, and that phone was not that expensive. So yeah, I really wish they would get back into like phone companies would get back into
Kyocera? I remember those phones. Those phones were dope back in the day. I had a lot of friends that had that. Nokia and Kyocera.
into the mid-range phone market, because there's a lot of people like me that don't want a giant phone but want good I mean, we don't expect the best performance. I never expected a mid-range phone to have the top of the line Samsung Galaxy specs, but just like,
I was the a-hole that had a BlackBerry phone with a keyboard, thought I was the shit.
Yeah, remember BlackBerry was around? I remember.
BlackBerry is still around. They're owned by TCL now. They got bought out because they made bad business decisions. They were like, "Oh yeah, the touchscreen on a phone, we don't need that. No, do we need a nice camera? No, we don't need that either." So yeah, we're just gonna live in the past. And then their company went downhill after.
Do they do anything BlackBerry?
Yeah, they revolutionized the keyboard phone, and then they.
Sorry, I mean, like, do they do anything now? I know what they did.
Yeah,
No,
they do now. They do now. They're all Android now. Them and Nokia.
They're trying to make a comeback right now.
Nokia is owned privately by a Finland company now, and actually their phones are one of the best next to Razer. They do not have the the 120 hertz screens or anything like that, but they are 1 and 2 to Razer right now for like the best mid-range phone you can get.
all right, and I am sorry, the Razer Phone 2 does not have the Snapdragon 855. It's got the Snapdragon 845. Sorry.
That's not bad. That's still not bad.
But it does have 8 gigs of system memory, and I got the 64 internal storage version, but there is a 128 version.
Yeah, Nokia and BlackBerry got bought out by independent companies. Microsoft sold it out to a Finland company after what's his name? I can't even say his name. Elep or whatever his name is, messed the company up so bad. Made bad business deals with Microsoft. That company would have still been around with Microsoft and still been making Windows phones if he didn't make bad moves.
Or even Android, man. Just imagine like a Nokia inspired Android, because man, they're old school. The bricks, they had the big brick with the little stub antenna, and then they had the smaller brick, which I had that one for forever, and that was a gangster phone.
Well, they did the BlackBerry Bold Android phone when they got bought out by that Finland company. That was the first thing they did. And then they brought back the banana phone. That was the two things they brought back from the grave.
Yep.
I almost bought the BlackBerry Bold remake for Android because it was like so cheap in price.
I don't know, man. BlackBerry's kind of hit or miss because like the first version of that small BlackBerry one with the thumb wheel or like
Yeah, I had
the
that. It's called the
ball,
Black Pearl. It was the Pearl. Yeah, it was the Pearl.
and that thing sucked because the ball was always messing up, and you had to try and clean it, or then you had to replace it. And then the next version was gangster because it came out and it had the it wasn't touch, it was a IR. It was it's a lot like what your
Yeah,
mouse.
the BlackBerry Bold 90.
Yeah, and
9900.
it used
Yeah.
basically what mice use nowadays, laser mice, where it's got a camera with a infrared or whatever laser, and
I
that
bought
one was
the-
epic.
Then that was a Verizon exclusive. That's why it went downhill real quick.
Well, they did
I had
eventually
the
release
Pearl,
it
was good.
unlocked, but it took them forever, and by that time there were better phones out there. But yeah, for a small phone that was full featured, because like I said, it had the trackpad, it had a full keyboard, it had a fairly good screen size, but it was still a reasonably small phone. I mean, it was way small compared to today's phones, but you know, for the time, it was still a pretty small phone. It was nice and thin. It had a lot of power. I mean, some people loved it, but a lot of people I know hated it because you were stuck with the BlackBerry apps for like word processing, email. It was a bunch of the text messages, email, word processing, web browsing, and a bunch of other stuff. There was no way to change those apps out. And I know a lot, like I said, a lot of people loved them, but I know a lot of people that really didn't like them, and they wish they could have gone with like actual Android apps or something like that.
Yeah, BlackBerry did originally. They had when they were really failing, they came out with an Android emulator within BlackBerry
Right.
OS, which was
Yeah.
terrible.
It was. I mean, that's emulation.
I bought
the
the BlackBerry tablet, and they had a emulation of Android baked into it, which was so horrible.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Emulation is always never as good as running the software natively, and that's just kind of how it runs.
I don't know about that.
No, dude, it is. I'll tell you.
Android wise, yes, it is. If you're doing it on top of an OS.
Even not Android, like just like I've got a what is it? There's a Game Boy Advance emulator for my PSP, right? And even though the PSP is fucking 10 times, 100 times the hardware that the Game Boy Advance is, there are still games that lag on that emulator just because emulation is never as solid as actual native software.
I don't know what that. I play Super Mario Sunshine at 4K with actors in 60 frames. So I'm not sure about that.
Well, that's yeah, because your hardware is so powerful, it doesn't matter. But that's, you know, you're running it on a PC. You know, we're talking 100,000 times the processor capability, but that's the thing, on a phone, you don't have PC hardware. You're stuck with, you know, mobile.
Whatever it's inputting, whatever it's
well,
putting
yeah,
out, yeah.
You're stuck with a mobile processor, and mobile processors are not PC processors. So yeah, emulating a console on a PC, sure, that runs fine, but that's just because it brute forces it. But you don't always have the option to run an emulation software on some, you know, ludicrously powerful hardware.
I mean, fair enough. I've seen like a lot of those play games on emulator phones really well.
Yeah, but
Maybe
it depends.
just
It depends on their specs. It depends on how much RAM they have. You know, like not every phone's gonna run every single emulator out there. Like there's
Or like
Dreamcast
PSP.
emulators.
There's a PSP emulator out for Android phones, even though the PSP runs, I think it's a 330 megahertz processor with like a 150 megahertz GPU, and it's got, you know, I can't remember how much RAM, but it's not a lot of RAM. It's like 60 or 32 megs, something like that. But a phone has trouble. Like it'll chug through a lot of PSP games because, like I said, you know, emulation is not as good as natively running it. So, you know, I mean, it all depends on your use case and what kind of hardware you're able to run it on and stuff like that.
Perhaps.
Yeah, if you have a beast-ass GPU and a beast-ass amount of RAM, of course it's going to run just fine in certain cases.
Although even then, not always. You know, there's times when no matter what, the like especially with when the code for the emulator isn't quite perfect. Like there's some times where you just can't emulate
Damn,
certain
Brimstone.
games properly.
Getting it in, buddy.
I mean, sure that
man.
that does happen, but that's like not a lot of cases, and also
Well,
it
it's
depends
gotten
the engine
better.
itself, because emulating PS3 is really difficult. So it's like
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's a perfect example. You know, even though the
that's
PS3
because of the
hardware isn't well, I mean, the hardware itself wasn't all that powerful because what is it? It's 8 separate physical cores that they're actually even separate physical units. And I can't remember what speed they're running at, but it's not they're not running all that fast, but the way the software was engineered to take advantage of those you know, because they're not CPU or GPU cores. They're all the same cores, and then each game can individually decide how it wants to allocate those cores. So if it wants to use 4 of those cores as GPU units and 4 of those cores as CPU units, it can do that, you know, or any combination in there, and that's totally okay as far as the hardware is concerned. But and that's a hard thing to emulate with software.
yeah, that's
How about
why.
how about those
emulation is difficult.
YouTube? How about those YouTube channels being hacked?
Yeah,
That's
so
the
I
new
think
one.
the count is
That's a
up
new
to
one to me.
30.
That's new to me.
30 different YouTube accounts have been hacked and used to try and push some, I think it's Litecoin. I don't think it has anything to do with Litecoin, but it's like the scam is using cryptocurrency to try and, you know, use their stuff for advertising and mining or something like that. It's nuts, man. I think YouTube is, I haven't looked into it 100%, so I don't know for sure, but last I heard, there at least a couple of the people whose accounts were hacked, they got access to their accounts back again. So it seems like YouTube is doing what they can to help you know, mitigate this. But it does kind of suck.
The game talking.
Right? Yeah, we're too small. I don't think anybody cares about us. I think these are all like at least medium-sized channels because, you know, they want views and stuff.
Like that whole Litecoin situation, I didn't even know about that. When did that happen?
Oh, I just heard about it. Like the first time I heard about it was 2 days ago or yesterday, something like that.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, nuts, man.
That's some crazy fucking shit, dude. Jesus.
Indeed it is. I didn't even know that was happening until Pete said something.
Yep. There was something else about it too. Oh, you cunt. Whatever, we won.
Speaking of emulators, I love the fact that in some, you know, to make the router better, you can emulate new software onto it. Really, I like that.
What router?
Like WTR routers and some Netgear stuff, some Asus stuff. You can actually, you know, take out the stock software. You know.
Yeah, WRT. Yeah, I did that with my old Linksys.
Because, you know, Linksys is owned by Belkin, you know.
Now it is, but back when I got mine, it was still
Cisco.
Linksys.
By Cisco, yeah.
What the hell? Yeah, what was the man, the standard one, the 2 antenna blue box?
Yep, the WRT Linksys G router. Yep.
Yeah,
those.
yeah, 54G or something like that. I can't
And it
remember
had
the.
it had like a voice volume indicator to show you how much Wi-Fi you're getting to your device.
Right.
That was
Yeah,
so
I mean
cool
that was
back
a good
then.
router for back in the day. I used that thing for a decade, man. And yeah, I had yanked out the stock software and uploaded WRT for it, and it was great because that sped it up a lot. Because that was one of the big problems with the factory stuff. Like the CPU and the RAM in that thing was kind of underpowered, especially for when it started to get older. And like if you tried to enable any quality of service enhancements like packet routing or port forwarding, it would chug
Chug.
to a halt. Yeah, like any at all, and you would get worse
Or better yet,
performance.
you can use Netgear nowadays with MediaTek processors that overheat and melt your shit.
Shit. Well, I mean, this is why I got my Asus 2600. Yeah, AC 2600. It's like one step below the gaming one.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably go with Asus the next time
Dude,
around.
they're great. And this is the thing, like people say, "Oh, you don't need a gaming router." And it's like, "Well, yeah, like you don't need a gaming router for gaming." Like that's kind of nice. It's unfortunate
Brimstone
that
has
they have to
my
market it as a gaming
Brimstone has
router
my old router, and it's chugging really good to this day.
cuz yeah, for gaming you don't need a gaming router, but the thing is like, you know, I've got me and my girlfriend, my roommate, my girlfriend's kids come over all the time. My roommate's got a kid. They come over sometimes. And so even without anybody else here, we've got 4 phones, 2 laptops, my PC, a PS4, and something else that are all usually streaming something. You know, my PC's always playing games and sometimes streaming, upload streaming, not download streaming.
Well, I think I
And
made
then that's not
Brimstone a
including anybody else who comes
believer of
in.
life for Asus there.
Because
the
yeah,
routers.
there was a lot of times when the factory Comcast crappy router would get overloaded with Wi-Fi, and you know, I mean, it wouldn't chug to a halt, but there would definitely be a quality of service interruption. You know, it would definitely, like, I would lose a lot of my bandwidth and stuff. So, you know,
I think they do
I
that.
don't
I think they do that on purpose.
probably.
Really, I think they do that by software on purpose.
I don't know about
Because
software.
I before I got my Linksys, I had a what was it? I had their Spectrum whatever Mimo router.
Yeah, the stock one.
Yeah, yeah, it was terrible. And I found out I was using MediaTek shit in it.
I mean, they're
So
just
that would explain.
junky, run-of-the-mill routers, and yeah, if all you have is a PC, a game console, and a phone or two, then yeah, they're fine. But like I said, we had 8 devices
Multiple.
at least
Yep.
going all the time, multiple of which would be streaming Netflix or other video or something, and then I'd be trying to stream, you know, upload stream to Twitch or whatever, and it just wasn't able to handle all the traffic. So, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, what can you expect for the
Well, like,
shitty, crappy, you know, factory ass cheapy router
was
they
that,
give
Brimstone?
you?
I was just gonna say, like, I don't think it. Like, I think the whole thing. I think people put too much emphasis on like gaming, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's the thing. It's like I think they only
you just need
market
a
them
good
as gaming
processor.
routers
Yeah. You
because
just need a good processor that can handle that kind of load. Right? I mean,
exactly.
you can-
Well,
you
and
can
good
sit there and
Wi-Fi
put a
antennas and all
MediaTek
that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can put MediaTek shit, which is what I dealt with, like he was telling you, and it was literally designed for gaming and streaming, and yet it didn't last fucking a year.
No, because when you
Right.
opened up the router and the modem, you realize they just put a heatsink on it and nothing more.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
no
shit.
fan, there's no nothing on it to protect it from overheating. And
But, I
then
mean,
you have to
that's
go
just-
DIY your shit because, you know, to make it work.
But I mean, that's you know, that's a marketing thing because, you know, I mean, the kind of people besides business type shit, the kind of people who are most likely going to need a router like that is, you know, gamers, streamers, you know, stuff like that. So it's just kind of, that's what ends up being what they market it as, which they really
I
should
was
just...
about to dog on Lynx's until I did the WRT shit. Until I did that, it was like I was suffering like brimstone with the whole not getting my true speeds, it slowing the fuck down, and being horrible. I was like, was my $200 investment garbage?
Like
And then
mine?
when
Yeah.
I did the open WRT thing, it fixed everything.
Yeah, it's way better software, way less
Yeah.
bloat.
Yep.
Plus, well, and not just so much bloat, because like I know part of it is Linksys and other companies will have stuff enabled from the factory that you really don't need, like connection. What do
Behind
they
you,
call
brimstone
it?
coming in the door.
Where it keeps track of every connection ever
Yep.
established, and it's like, why you don't need that? Like, unless you're a systems administrator and you need to like figure something out, you know. But for a standard home user, all that does is just soak up CPU usage and slow your connection down, or you know, possibly slow your connection down.
Well, and a lot of them are using Marvell chips that are cheap end that don't help your cause either.
That's true.
I mean, look at some of the Ethernet controllers on some of these routers. You just go, wow, why do you exist? Like, I'll say this, TP-Link is another company I would consider, because TP-Link, I've never had an issue with them. They just work.
Yeah, I had a TP-Link wireless card that worked really well.
And they actually use WRT. They actually push it to you saying, hey, if you don't like our software, go ahead and just use OpenRT.
Right.
They support it. And if you want full control of your router.
That was before
Now,
I got my my Asus. One of the ones I was considering was a TP-Link. What the hell is the...
And it doesn't void your warranty either. With the WRT routers and the TP-Link ones, they don't void your...
What was the new hot shit at the time, like 3 or 4 years
antennas?
ago?
Was it 6
No,
antennas
well,
or
yeah,
4
but
antennas?
it was a
Beamforming?
specific... Yeah, but there was a specific name for the... you know, it was 802.11g or whatever, and then was it 5 gigahertz?
Was 5 gigahertz? No, it was actually AC, because AC introduced 5 gigahertz. G was still 2.4.
Then it was AC with 5, or it was AC with 5 gigahertz then.
Yeah, now it's we're on a lot of us are on Wi-Fi Gen 5, and then there's Wi-Fi 6 now and 7 coming up that are AX, and then it's going to be AX plus, because
Yeah.
we're having problems with AX.
Well, it's, I mean,
And then Li-Fi is coming up. You know, Li-Fi is a huge deal.
I can't wait, dude. I'm so
Li-Fi
hyped.
is going to be amazing.
it's cool and all, but there's still inherent limitations to what you can do with a wireless connection.
Well, look at
Yeah,
5G. Look at 5G. I'll give credits to T-Mobile. They're doing lower band spectrum at the moment compared to Verizon, where they're just like, let's go to the high tier branch and fuck everybody over.
Especially with the infrastructure not being able to support it, and when you try to
Right.
call them on it, they're like, "Oh, well, it's not our problem." It's like, "Excuse me, I'm paying for the service."
Or you can have AT&T that says fake 5G and it's just 4G LTE.
and they cap you when you go up past like 10 gigs of use. Yeah,
Yep.
Well, that's
That's why I like
just
That's
about
why I like a
everybody.
lot of these. That's why I like a lot of these third-party companies, like Metro, Boost, Cricket.
Cricket, yeah, Cricket's good.
Even T-Mobile's gotten that way.
I
Like
love Metro.
They'll tell you right off the rip. We'll be once you hit about 15 gigs on their shit, they'll tell you, hey, we're gonna take you down to a little bit lower 4G LTE though,
So what
which
is
I'm
it?
all right with. And I'm not paying that much for T-Mobile. T-Mobile, I'm only paying $40 a month, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I pay 50 for Metro, and it's unlimited everything.
Yep, same.
So
And they don't throttle you when you watch a streaming movie on your phone or anything like that.
well,
so
it's I don't
kinda-
even think I have because I got a special. I think that plan is $60 now, Because normally the $50 and under plans, you've got a throttle limit once you've hit a certain, I think it's like 5 gigs of
I'm on
bandwidth
the
total.
I'm on the senior plan, so the 50 over plus whatever,
Fuck.
because my mom qualifies for it. Oh, and if you're on disability, you qualify for more of a discount with T-Mobile. They work with you, which is cool.
You know what's funny about this is like, why can't the main carriers take a note and a lesson from the sub carriers?
Right.
How is it cricket? I can sit there through an entire stream. I can watch Rev stream on my phone until my phone dies, and never once have a hiccup. But if I
Right.
was to go to T-Mobile or AT&T or any of these other guys, like that shit would have been capped out at like
Yep.
20 minutes.
Well, actually,
Either that or
T-Mobile's
you would have
actually-
been limited to like 480p or whatever.
Yeah,
T-Mobile has
exactly.
actually changed that. Actually, used to do that. They don't do that anymore. When I
Yeah,
joined
ever
them,
since
they
they
don't do that.
partnered with Metro, they adopted Metro's policy on it, which is good.
Well,
But
they're
like,
buying out. They're buying out Sprint, and what I'm shocked about is they're going to be selling everything to Dish Network, and I feel sorry for everybody
I know,
that
right?
that's on Virgin Mobile and Boost Mobile. Like, oh
Dish
my.
Network used to be really good. I don't know what's happening then.
Well, they want to get into the business. They're even in talks of buying DirecTV out because AT&T wants nothing to do with them because they made a bad investment deal. That's what it was. They're realizing, oh, we fucked up. We made a bad investment deal.
Yep.
And they're
But
realizing everybody's going to streaming.
yeah, dude, everybody. Like, this is the
Like
thing, guys.
I'm even thinking about going to T-Mobile's streaming service for TV.
Ew.
I say you might as well just cut cable. Fuck
Yeah,
that, dude.
I wouldn't even have
Already
TV
cut
except
cable.
for
Well,
my
I get
roommate
the
still
same.
likes cable.
I get the same
Well,
amount of
tell 'em to get
channels
fucked.
with T-Mobile streaming service for half of the price of DirecTV. That's the whole shock part, and I can use my Amazon Fire Stick if I wanted to.
But yeah,
use my
if it
satellite
were up
for
to me,
everything,
I'd just
so.
be using streaming services for everything.
Yeah. Well, his mom likes the TV more than anything, so.
Yeah, the DVR feature. Now she's realizing you get cloud storage now, and you can do the same thing with an external hard drive. I showed her this. She goes, "Oh, I can do it with an external hard drive now," and I'm like, "Yep, now you can."
Crazy
I
shit.
just can't believe Sony View TV went out of business like that. Like they just said, "Fuck it." They had the best business deal going on too.
Yeah. Well, I can believe it because Sony doesn't know how to like stay true to its fucking customers, dude.
And
Not wrong.
Hulu just went up in price for their streaming TV out of nowhere for no reason.
Oh wow!
Well, you don't need to worry about that if you get locked in for. We do. If you're locked in, you're good.
What do you use streaming TV, Brimstone?
No, I use the Roku
Oh,
Pro
okay.
HD or whatever. That was like $100. I got it for.
Oh yeah, you have the same box that I have that is in my drawer.
It's the high end one. It's the highest end
Yeah.
one you can get. Yeah.
It has the 4K and everything.
4K HDR built into it is amazing, by the way.
I'm locked into Amazon. That's the shitty part. I'm
locked into Amazon. I'm locked into Hulu, into fucking Netflix, dude.
My
Like,
mom
I'm
bought
on
all
it.
the Fire stuff.
And it's
at
still
one
cheaper
point,
than cable.
right?
Right?
Well, if I
Right.
buy the streaming TV service and a couple of streaming services, I'm still paying half of what I paid with DirecTV. DirecTV is like $160 a month.
Oh, my girl got Disney, so she's like hardcore into Disney. So, but you know what? Even with all
I'm
that
sorry.
said, I'm not. I love the Mandalorian, dude. That shit was badass.
Well, I'll
so-
say this: if you
I
own
just
the
don't like
movies, it's
Disney.
not. If you own all the movies and stuff, it's not worth it. But if you are just somebody that
Well,
doesn't have the movies and whatnot, then it's worth
The way
it.
they're going though, because they're starting to get fucking.
Hey, they're going the way of HBO Max. They're all putting exclusives on these platforms, and you either get
And they've
with it or
got
you
all
don't.
the IPs, man. They've got Marvel. They've got fucking.
Yeah.
I kind of want to watch. I kind of want to watch the Ewan McGregor version of the Kenobi show. Actually, I'm kind of.
They got
interested in
canned. I got canned.
that. They got canned, actually.
It's not like totally gone, but it's on break. They started production, but then they just immediately went on break a couple months
It's
later.
indefinitely suspended.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
Definitely.
Yeah, they don't know if when. I mean, they haven't canceled it, but there's no definitive answer on if or when it's ever coming back.
I
And
mean,
you
because
got Nickelodeon and Netflix partnering up together.
it's because the reason why that happened is mainly because they have no like idea what they really want to do, like Disney with like any shows. They're like, let's do this, but then it's like, oh, does this actually will this be work good? Nope, we don't know. Oh fuck, and that's Disney in a
Well,
nutshell.
given their track
No
record with a
direction.
bunch of stuff, like it.
They have no direction. You can't really be like, oh, get your shit together when they don't even know what the fuck they want to do.
Well, it's like Rick and Morty and whatnot. They're gonna be
I don't-
putting that all on the HBO Max app. It's all going exclusive to that. They're pulling it off of TNT and
Well,
whatnot to put it on
Rick
there.
and Morty knows what they're doing, and also Rick and Morty's great. So there is that.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing, dude.
I love that show
Especially
too. I'm right
Can't
I know,
there.
believe we
right?
won that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's fucking funny, dog. It's hilarious. I love dark humor, dude. So it's good for me.
Been watching 2 shows lately: Sinner and Outsider.
I've only been watching JoJo this week.
JoJo's
So.
Amazing Adventure.
Yes,
we're using
JoJo
them
is
all, babe.
fucking amazing.
JoJo's
Jojo-
good.
I think you were
Ah,
using
dude.
1 or 2 of them.
It's like I'm on another level. That's how like much I'm hooked into JoJo. It's just so fucking good.
And I've been watching a lot of Food Network and
The
what
Food
is it,
Network, Jesus.
Yeah,
Food
restaurant-
Network's awesome, bro. I love
the,
Restaurant
uh,
Dude,
res-
that's my
Restaurant
girlfriend's all
Impossible.
about that shit.
Hell's Kitchen, fucking.
And I've been watching HDTV streaming app with all the Property Brothers and all that good shit. Love it or
That's
list
what
it.
I'm talking
dude.
about, dude. Property Brothers is the shit.
Property
Yeah,
Brothers. My mom cringes every time they do a stupid joke, but I like it.
You guys are such. Can I say boomer?
Right?
Love it or list it. I love it.
Hey, you know what though, Blue? Like I can tell you right now, I know how to build a house. What can you do?
You know what they're bringing
Yeah.
back, Brimstone?
Could you actually though? Could you
Yeah.
actually?
right?
I could. I could.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'll believe
If I
it when
don't-
I see it.
If I don't die of a heart attack trying, but yeah, I could.
How about we
Hey,
start with a
Brimstone.
gazebo? Let's see if you can build
You know
a
what the-
gazebo.
You know what they're bringing back?
I did that
from the
shit when I
grave?
was 12, dog. Come at me.
You know what they're bringing back from the grave? Home Extreme Makeover. I can't wait for that.
Oh no.
Yeah, my girlfriend's all about the Great British Baking Show, and there's
Oh,
like
dude, the
4 of
worst,
them
the
that
worst
she loves.
kitchen, the worst cooks in America, dude. I watched that on Food Network. Hell yeah.
Oh, dude, that's.
Dive drives in bars with Guy Fieri. Fuck yeah.
I don't really care for Guy, dude. Like Guy, he's cool, but like his food sucks, dog.
I know, but I find entertainment out of it.
Oh,
No,
I
he's,
have.
he's entertaining. Don't get me wrong. It's just like his food isn't what him and his sister make it out to be.
Right. I watch Restaurant Impossible because I love Robert Irvine though.
Yeah,
And
Robert
that-
Irvine's cool.
Like at least he goes down to earth with people, unlike what's his name from Hell's Kitchen. I'm gonna yell you out until I feel better about myself.
But you know what though? Like he actually like. But here's the thing though. Like they both try to help these people. Have you ever
Right.
looked up those restaurants after the show,
Yeah, they did the one down the street from my house. Hell's Kitchen did.
bro? Like some of them, like
The ones
not
that
some of
follow
them.
their suggestions actually are doing
Actually-
a whole lot better.
Yeah, like there was one in Los Angeles. I can't remember the name of it, but like it was like a bistro and a spaghetti and a pizza place, right?
Yep.
And it
Spaghetti.
was ran by the father who like embezzled his son's inheritance from his grandparents to start.
Oh
this fucking-
Jesus.
Yeah, dude, it was fucked. It was fucked, dude. And
It's a fucking story to tell.
his father ran his fucking business into the ground, dude. After fucking what's his face from Hell's Kitchen left. Like they were successful for like a good year, and then they reverted back to doing all the same shit all over again, and they went out of business shortly after. Because the guy's a fucking
damn it.
idiot, dude.
It's kind of weird because like, Gangster, have you watched anything or no?
What was it?
What?
I just watched the latest episode of Robert Irvine, and you know the
Wait.
revisits. And they one of the businesses has made three different places and even a grocery store now. So she's like a what is it, a 4.5 millionaire now? It's fucking amazing when they take their advice.
Gordon Ramsay, yeah, that's the name. What were you asking, Blue?
It's like, what have you been watching though? Have you really watched anything or no?
I mean, fuck, I don't know.
You don't know.
I mean, like I've obviously been watching stuff, but like I watched
Anything
The
worthwhile?
Expanse. I watched the season of The Expanse. I watched The Witcher. That was okay.
Oh, we could talk about that later on.
What else have?
It's just like anything new. I don't think I've watched anything like new.
Oh, I watched that. What is that? A Nazi show that
Okay.
Al Pacino's in?
Nazi
The one
show,
where-
easy
the-
descriptible.
It doesn't matter. Bro.
No, the one. No, it's they go and hunt Nazi people in America, and they remove them or reconform them.
Oh,
Because
fuck
I
it.
have a
they're
feeling
gonna-
I know
they're
what
gonna-
you're talking about, but I can't remember the name.
It's called X something rather.
I don't fucking really
Al
care about
Pacino's
this
just
show.
Al Pacino's amazing though in anything to me.
In
Al
fair
Pacino's
enough,
a good actor, yeah.
And
and
I also watched the one with what was it? The remake on Netflix of that movie. Martin Scorsese, the one that's up for Oscar. I actually had a chance to sit down and watch that. It wasn't too bad.
The Irishman. Did you hate it as well or no?
No, I liked it. I love Joe Pesci and anything that what's his name does. Robert De Niro does. It reminded me so much of Casino.
My problem with the Irishman, it's like Goodfellas, but just twice as long. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, Scorsese.
I love Martin Scorsese movies. What The Departed? The Departed was great.
Departed was great.
like-
yeah.
Yeah, but my problem is the Irishman is basically Goodfellas, but just longer. That's my problem with The Irishman.
The original was long too, though.
Yeah, but the Irishman's like fucking 4 hours or something like shit like that, dude.
Then you need to go watch Spartacus then with Kurt Russell that just died.
Oh,
Speaking of somebody that just died
Yeah, but
recently at 105 years old, man, is Kurt Russell, man. Jesus, or not Kurt Russell, Kurt Douglas, sorry. And that guy was. I can't believe he died recently.
Can't believe he lived that long, dude.
Yeah, I was shocked how much he lived.
Like he
also,
made it to 105.
Also, too, they're going to be showing off Kobe Bryant's memorial service on the 25th of February, and
I'm so cynical about that.
the wife is so distraught and broken. It's not even.
Of
funny.
course should be.
You know, she's never going to be the same again.
The fucked part
Yeah,
is like
losing a daughter and a husband.
Yeah.
I can see.
And
I can
Ozzy
see
Osbourne, dude, have you seen him lately? After he came out with all of his health scares and shit, man, he don't look the same. I feel sorry for him. Like, he wants to perform, and I'm like, you're never gonna perform again, dude. Good luck to all that.
Yeah, but like this, I can see like people bringing up his rape accusation at the funeral. I can see that happening easily. Someone is trying to get attention. I can see it happening. Like someone brings the accuser.
My coworkers already started that shit, and I was like, dude, I'm not even gonna hear that. I'm not gonna hear that.
I'm not hearing that shit. It was already solved in court, and they
He was already fucking found not guilty. He was.
Yeah,
My
it was
favorite-
debunked.
That bullshit.
It was debunked, and he also paid her too, which he was so nice. He paid her anyway.
My favorite part about that is they bring it up when he's dead. It's like, yeah, dude, you bring up shit like that when the dude's dead. That's fucking wow. You people are gross.
That's garbage, isn't it?
It's like you don't even bring this up when he's alive. You're like, wait till he's dead. Like, come on, guys.
Have you watched the Gordon Ramsay show, Brimstone? The one where he goes around the countries and looks at weird food and whatnot, and
And
Yeah.
then
implements
this
it
tastes
into
like
stuff?
shit.
It's on his net. It's a Netflix. He has a Netflix special where he does that. Yeah, I've been watching it.
It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, what he's doing is he's taking what food YouTubers are doing and he's putting his own twist on it, and that's awesome.
Yep, he goes out in the middle of places that you would never know that there's actually good food.
Yeah.
Hunter X, I think that's what it's called. Yeah,
Hunter,
And,
wait, do you mean Hunter X Hunter?
No,
yeah, I
no,
believe
no,
so.
no.
No, he's
No.
That's
talking
an
about that.
anime.
Hunter X Hunter is an anime. Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting confused there. Sorry.
It's got Al Pacino in it. It's really good. It's a really good show on Amazon Prime. I've actually been really getting into Amazon Prime shows like
For me, I do have. For me, it's hard for me to like watch a lot of like get in some shows. Like I know people tell me to keep watching Expanse till I'm like in my grave.
The Expanse
Yep.
is pretty good too. I've
Amazing.
been
Yeah, it's
watching Goliath or Jagath or Goliath. Sorry, with what's
Billy
his-
Bob Thornton.
yeah, really good show.
Yeah, I've heard that's pretty good. The Boys was pretty good, and so was
I mean that was pretty
what's
good.
the fairy fucking one?
Oh, Carnival Row.
Remnos. Yeah,
I've
Carnival
also
Row.
been watching. I've been watching the Apple Plus TV stuff. They got like 5 shows that I've been into. The more good the morning show is really fantastic, done with Jennifer Aniston and what's her name from was friends with oh my god, from Saturday Night Live. Really good show with Steve Carell. Like Steve Carell, man, I miss him. They need to bring back The Office though.
Wait, have any
Nah, I was
The
never into The
Office?
Office.
I don't think they should bring it back. I think The Office ended perfectly. It's a perfect show. It ended at the perfect time. It's like don't bring it back, dude.
The UK one is still going on, which I like that show.
I mean that's fine, but I think some shows are just like there's some shows they just shouldn't bring back from the grave. I think some things are just better, like cleared away and complete.
Morning show's good. They have a Knights of a Round Table kind of show, which is really good. They have the When We Got to the Moon, they have a show based around that. I think it's called Astronaut something rather. It's really good.
Oh, how we got to the moon? I was listening to a good podcast about it. But that was a bit of an old one. It was a Bill Whittle podcast he did like for the 50th anniversary of the moon landing. Really good shit that was. If anyone hasn't seen it,
I have not.
it's a really good one.
Dude, I've been watching this this thing on YouTube, and it's these dudes actually dress up in traditional fucking armor and weapons, and they actually fucking fight.
Hey,
It's pretty dope, dude. It is pretty dope, and
That sounds
they
pretty
like,
fucking cool.
yo, you see, dude, when you see somebody take a fucking mace to the face, like a full-on mace, like we're not talking no plastic toy. We're saying like this motherfucker weighs like 60 pounds, and this
Not all
guy's
heroes are
swinging it, dude.
Have you seen the one where they do it in a boxing ring where they wear full armor, like chivalry armor and everything, and they go at each
Yeah.
other like tournament style?
Yeah, that's what. There's
Okay,
two of
so
them.
I know which one you're watching. Okay, that
I'm
shit is
watching that
intense.
one. I'm watching that one, and I'm watching the one where they actually do like an old school, like medieval times arena.
And then I'm watching the
and they tear that arena to pieces, dude. I mean, this thing's built up with metal and wood, and these motherfuckers are getting thrown through it in full plated armor. And I'm like,
watching-
dog.
I'm also watching the kind of the same concept, but I'm watching on Facebook Watch because it's a series. It's the Jedi Knight. Well, they can't call it that because it's copyrighted, but they're doing like the
Thanks, Izzy.
lightsaber tournament. I've been watching that.
Oh,
Like, they have
yeah,
a whole
yeah,
series, and
yeah.
it's like intense when they get into it, dude.
That's because they're actually using real fucking katas and shit from sword fighting from back in the day.
And it's like actually light swords, like literally like the
Lightsaber. You
lightsabers.
mean like those? Have you like those like fan made lightsaber duels?
Yeah, but
really
they
good.
actually look cool. They're intense as fuck because people are swinging that thing for real. Like,
I got to see like a what is it, a Dark Maul
I mean-
like lightsaber, and they were going at
Yeah.
each other for a
Dark-
good 50 minutes.
Do you
and
see
they
Dark
didn't
Maul?
finish-
Do you
Yeah,
mean
Dark
Dark Maul?
Yes.
On
Thank you.
Christ, dude. I'm angry that you just got that wrong.
Well, I'm sorry. Would you like a bottle of wine and
Yes, please give me a bottle of wine. I would actually
and a
take one.
diaper and some tampons? It's okay.
Jesus Christ, dude.
It's a Midol.
I just wanted you.
And some night on the
That's a
Snickers.
model.
Just wanted you to get the name right.
I'll get you some poised diapers. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird to hear all the shows you're watching because there's shows I wouldn't probably watch at all.
Really? Not even the night shit where they're like actually swinging
Maybe
swords
the-
at each other?
Maybe the night shit, but like all that.
and
cooking-
another one is I watch is the hot ones. I like watching the hot ones, man.
Oh, hot ones with yeah,
Where they do the interviews.
yeah.
But like they eat hot shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to try their hot sauce though.
They're hot
I'm
ones
kinda-
with even hotter questions.
right?
I see where you're going with that, Brimstone. I don't know.
I also
like,
watch pit bulls and parolees too.
I just like the night stuff sounds cool, but the things I probably wouldn't watch is those cooking shows. I don't have the
Oh,
stomach
dude.
or the
My
tolerance for
girlfriend
it.
is all about those.
I
Oh,
hate-
dude, the cookie shows are great because you learn something.
I hate them. I'm like, why do you exist? That's my thing with them.
And I get down with some of those shows because I learned some recipes that I haven't learned in my life.
I mean, I get
Like-
it. Yeah.
If I watch, I'm in a weird spot because if I watch something, it's rather I watch anime or anything at all.
I've been watching the other show called Deputy on Fox. And that's a really good show, actually.
Is it a cop show or?
It's kind of like Longmire in a way, but it's not. It's kind of in the same ballpark. Longmire
I loved
was the shit.
Longmire. As
Longmire was
social
great.
justice-y as it was, I still dug it.
You mean Law and
Lou
Order?
Diamond Phillips,
No,
man, I still can't get
Longmire.
over. I still can't get over Lou Diamond Phillips in
Drag
Hollywood.
queen?
Yeah, dude,
Yeah, dude. I was like,
when I see him-
whoa.
When I see him on Deputy, dude, or that other show that's kind of like supposed to be like a Sherlock Holmes but a darker version, I'm like, I tell my mom like, I still can't get over him in drag.
That shit's so funny, dog. Like I was like, yo, Lou Diamond.
They need
Phillips
to make
is
they need to make
skirt,
another
dog.
film. They need to make
Hey,
another.
Herb's like, we need to
Homicide.
make him into a skirt. We need to put him into a skirt. Fucking, wow, dude.
They were playing an old Lou Diamond Phillips.
Bro, when
movie,
you know, when you like,
La
when
Bamba?
you, dude, when you watch Lou Diamond Phillips in like Young Guns or
La Bamba.
La Bamba, like, dude, you see this dude dressed up as a chick. It's so fucking weird.
Right?
He's like,
Like,
Herb's
it is
like,
so
Herb's like, I'm not gay, but I would totally fuck you.
It's just fucking strange, dog. Seeing my dude dressed up as a chick, dude. It's like, whoa.
So,
Like,
has
trapped
anybody
in
in
an
the
arcade.
chat been watching the XFL at all?
Oh, I think it's just me and you, Rev, who's been watching it. Cause I'm watching it right now. Shit's great.
And
I think
love,
JC is still there.
I love the fact that they took out the extra point and they made it 1-2-3, you know, to score. And I love the fact that they do the kickoffs at the 30-yard line and they don't have the teams like literally running to cause each other concussions. And I love the fact that if the punt goes out of bounds, they start the ball at the 45, and it's much quicker. And all the challenges are done in real time, which is really cool. So they've modernized football, which I like. And the
Made
hitting
it.
is amazing.
Yep.
Thank you, Vince McMahon and Oliver Luck for making football great again.
You just want to see some people get fucked up.
Dude,
It's a game of war.
I got to see somebody yesterday, right? They were on the 10-yard line. He was so nervous, he barfed. Literally, like, hang time, barfed and caught a football, too. I'm like, Jesus, you don't get to see that in the NFL. You don't. Oh, wait, if you breathe on Drew Brees or Tom Brady, you get a 15-yard penalty, you're fine.
I know.
Like, on Twitter, there was this guy that was so amped up on the XFL. He's like, that son of a bitch caught the football. Woo, I'm going crazy right now. You don't see that in the NFL. That bitch counted like he wanted some groceries, motherfucker. I'm like, Jesus.
This man's a man of culture.
And I was like, this one guy was like, so I fucked up, and they didn't even blurp him out. He just said, I fucked up. I know what I was doing. I was cursing out the guy. I was so into the games. I don't give a fuck. And ABC did not freaking censor it at all. And I was like,
ABC did-
yes.
Thank
yes.
you. Oh man,
Fuck you,
this is
Genji.
great. It's like peak football we're gonna have, you know. It's like I think XFL will probably get bigger than college football if it keeps getting hyped
Well,
up.
I like the
this.
rule they implemented where you have 1 foot inbounds and it still counts as a catch. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, it's Tom Brady's ultimate weakness.
They were all saying if Tom Brady got into the XFL, he would just get sacked so hard. He would be the guy. The announcer said that he would be retired quickly.
They'd be like, yo, Tom Brady, like, yo, I think I'm done for now.
I think I need to retire, guys. I hurt my back.
I need to take my drama class. Oh wait, I played soccer.
I
I'm
put
gonna
it
take
in the
drama class.
memes part of it, but there was this punter yesterday for the LA Wildcats my home team, and he got sacked so hard he was crawling to get up. I was like, that's the way it should be. He got fucked up.
Yeah, dude. Game of
And
war.
then, and
like I said.
you know what's funny is they're having less concussions in the XFL compared to the NFL. They put that stat out there yesterday.
Maybe because the XFL is a bit new, though, to be fair to the NFL. But it's like, yeah, I say go for it.
And you know what's cool is they
you
cart the
lucky
guy off
bitches.
instead of having a timeout like the NFL where we have to wait 45 minutes for commercials and shit. They just
Yo, but
move-
like, what kind of fucking world do we live in where Vince McMahon kills an entire wrestling dynasty, but yet brings back football?
I know, right?
well,
What?
right now, he's not running it. He's a commissioner of it. He's not running it.
He probably did something right
The
with his life.
chairman is Andrew Luck, the former Colt quarterback's dad. He's running it all. Vince McMahon just wants to be the owner of it. That's it. He don't want any piece.
You want to make
of
some money
making
off that
decisions.
shit.
Right? And he's going to. That's the funny part
Good
about
on
this.
him.
Like, watch, he'll sell off to Disney all the WWE shit to Fox and Disney, and then he'll just run his football league, and then go out and you know.
As they say, capitalism always wins.
Well, Vince McMahon learned from the original XFL. The original XFL was really shitty and hard hitting, and like I love the kickoff idea in the XFL original where they put it at the middle of the yard line and you had to run and try to dive on the ball, see who got the ball first. But that caused a lot of concussions.
I can see that.
I'm all for concussions, so this is good.
Concussions are great.
That means the game. That means you're really playing hard.
Well, which is good about the XFL is the fact that that we get to see stars that we would never see in the NFL that never had an opportunity.
Ow, fuck off.
I will say this: the XFL will last longer than the AAF. The AAF only lasted 6 months.
What's the AAF?
The National American Football League, or the Alliance Football League, or something like that, that didn't last long. And they took shots at the NFL. They're like, yeah, we're gonna compete with the NFL. We're gonna be all about competing with them. Never say that out your mouth because you're gonna lose. Where the XFL's like, we're just gonna be a spring football league in conjunction with the NCAA and the NFL. We're just trying to give players an opportunity to be seen so they can be, signed by the NFL. We're not trying to compete like they did the first time where Vince McMahon came out and he said, yeah, we're going to kill the NFL. We're going after them hard. And it's like, that's why you struggle.
I don't know about killing, but I think the XFL, depending how things go, could probably surpass the NFL, or maybe surpass college football, if nothing else.
If it stays consistently on air, yeah.
Yeah.
The views yesterday were great. They had 57 million people watching it. It was
Yeah,
20
people love that
million
shit.
below the NFL. The Super Bowl, it was 20 million behind it.
Well, people love this shit. It's something
And the
that was
ratings
in
and the
retirement,
reviews
and now it's
coming
back in the
out.
game.
The reviews coming out were fantastic yesterday. A lot of sports analysts were saying that the XFL is kind of taking college football and the NFL and modifying it and making it better. But a lot of people are saying if they don't have the capital, it could die off in three to 4 years.
Let's hope.
Well, that's
I
gonna
think
be that's gonna be the biggest problem besides getting viewers is, getting ad revenue and all that, especially
Yeah.
before things like merchandise. Oh, God damn it. Yeah, especially before things like merchandise and other.
That's why the
revenue
Arena
sources
Football
come
League
up.
died. That's why the Arena Football League died recently. That's why the AAF died the way they did, because they had the fans, but they didn't have the capital to keep maintaining it. You know what I mean?
Because that shit's expensive, man. I don't even want to know how much money
The NFL made $1 billion. The NFL made $1 billion just to spend $500 million.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what's their upkeep costs and shit like that? Because it's got to be ludicrous.
And they make it back on all the sponsors. That's the thing.
Sponsorships.
The
and,
NBA in itself,
merchandise.
the NBA is hurting for viewership. They're trying to make a tournament, kind of like Mega March Madness, which nobody wants, because they want to capture the what they say the Zoomers and the young generation. And it's like young generation don't want a fucking tournament. What do you want about? They just want good. They want good basketball, and they want something else than the fucking Golden State Warriors in the finals every year.
Fuck.
I mean,
Yeah.
that'd be nice. I'm not really into basketball. My brothers love it, so it's like that'd be nice for
My
them.
mom's super into it. But, you know, just like most people, she only got back into it when Bibby and all them were dominating. And then,
Mike Bibby was amazing.
I mean, she's
White
stuck with
chocolate,
it.
white
She has been a
chocolate,
fan.
Jason Williams.
She has been a fan for a long time, so that's fair enough. You know, she didn't abandon him when
What team was she for?
Oh, Kings.
Oh yeah, the Kings were legendary back in 2000.
Oh,
2005. They started the whole. I'll give Sacramento Kings credit when they had Lottie D-Box, Chris Webber, what was it, Jason Williams. They started the whole cowbell thing in a game. Every time they went against the Lakers, they would do it on purpose. They would ring cowbells on purpose during a playoff game, and they started the whole chant, "Beat LA" chant. That was the whole thing back in the day because the Kings and the Lakers went at each other so many different times. It was legendary. Like, they hated each other. Every time the Sacramento Kings and the Lakers went at each other. I remember when Chris Webber threw Robert Horry to the ground. And he looked at him like, I'm going to kill you. Those were legendary playoff matches, literally. Same with the Portland Trailblazers. Those were great
Horrible
back in the
that
day.
round.
But
Yeah.
basketball will never be the same. Now if you breathe on somebody, it's a foul.
I mean, you know.
I think basketball's probably the peak, was at its peak when the days of like Michael Jordan and like Kobe.
I would say that I was towards the era of Michael Jordan towards the end when he won his last championship against Utah and when he went to the Wizards. But I was more ingrained with the Sacramento Kings and the Lakers, dude. That was some good rivalry shit. Like, I thought the Kings had us at one point, and then they lost in Game 7. They would always lose in Game 7. They could never finish us off. And then they had Mike Bibby at one point, and Mike Bibby was, like, he was so good with the ball. Like, you just wanted to watch him just for the moves he was going to make on the court. And then Mike Bibby got traded to Memphis Grizzlies, and his career went downhill after that. He got hurt several times, which was sad. It was kind of like a Penny Hardaway situation. And then Vlade D-Box was never the same, and Chris Webber just became old.
Yeah, right.
Jeez.
And then Peja
Ain't that the worst fate?
Stojakovic was one of the best three-point shooters for
It'll
them.
happen to you, Blue. Don't worry.
Fuck that. No, it won't.
No, yeah, you'll be the first person ever to live forever.
Yes, I'll put my
He'll
brain
become a
inside of
robot.
it.
He'll
My
become
brain will
bicentennial
become
man.
yes. I'll be the bicentennial man of the modern day. And I'm about to fucking lose my game.
It happens.
Bro, basketball stopped being basketball when Dennis Rodman took off. Just saying.
Fucking
Hey,
Rodman,
Dennis
man.
Rodman was pretty good, though, for his
Hell
time.
yeah, he was,
He was a
dude.
crazy
You didn't-
motherfucker.
I remember when he was part of...
Dude, he was the only motherfucker that could go into the fucking basketball court with a dress on and win a fucking championship, dog.
Hey, man, I remember when he was dating Madonna, and Madonna told him to be as weird as fuck. And he would come out as the San Antonio Spurs with a fucking tutu and a fucking piercings and blue hair, dude. I was like, the fuck?
Or how
Dude's
about,
a total god.
how about when he got married in a wedding dress?
Yep. Remember that?
Yeah, that was some shit, man.
And then Mecha World Peace is like, Mecha World Peace was the next Dennis Rodman because he was losing his mind. Fan breathed on him, threw a beer at him, and then he started to fight, and then became a weird crazed person after that. I'm just gonna change my name to Mecha World Peace so I can Literally, the reason he did, he said something to do about pandas. He wants to save the pandas, so he changed his name, and he became like trans into different things. Like he had different hair colors. I was like Dennis Rodman 2.0.
He became Panda Man, the Panda Man of Justice.
No, where it really took off is like the early 2000s, like the new gen NBA, the end of an era with Michael Jordan. You had Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Mike Bibby, Jason Williams to a certain extent. It was good times to be a basketball fan, and then it just went downhill after 2006.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I always liked playing basketball. I never really enjoyed watching it. So, as opposed to football, which I did like playing football, but I never really played it. I guess I did play touch in middle school, but other than that, but I loved watching football, especially the Super Bowl. That was my shit. Super Bowl parties at my grandpa's house were great.
Are we gonna start the overtime?
I think we should.
Yeah,
Cause it's
probably
like,
go
it's
to
been
the
over
end of
2
this.
hours.
Go to the end of this round, and then we'll do overtime.
What about the? Since we were talking about internet stuff earlier, what about the whole, like China into France don't like demonize their like 5G internet?
Wait, what?
What?
It's something article. China to France don't discriminate against like Huawei. That's what the Huawei. Yes, I can't say the fucking word. Save my life. Huawei, the Chinese phone company.
Oh, you lucky bastards! I had my ult too. Well,
You think
there
should be this up against a Huawei or just
no, I
let
think
them
we
in?
should not do business with Huawei. I think we should have even stricter rules about how Chinese companies are, because this is, people don't understand. Like, this was the whole thing with Epic Games and their data mining and stuff.
Huawei owns a lot of spectrum in the States as far as towers and whatnot. You can't just cripple them like that, because then there goes a lot of our spectrum.
Well, here's the problem. Any company that's Chinese, any Chinese company is required by Chinese law to provide any and all information that they get that the Chinese government requests to the Chinese government. So this was the big thing with Epic Games and their data mining, was Tencent owns a controlling share in Epic Games, which means that any data they get, the Chinese government can request, and they have to provide it. And it's the same thing with Huawei. So if we start allowing, say, like government officials to use Huawei phones, they're gonna have a backdoor in there, and they're going to be collecting a shitload of data from all the customers, and Huawei will be giving that information over to the Chinese government. So, yeah, I think we should be very, very careful with what we allow Huawei to do.
The problem is with that is they own a lot of signal towers here in the States. That's the problem. Because they sold a lot of contracts to a lot of these, carriers and whatnot. Their towers, if you hear the percentages on that, it's huge from them.
I don't think we should have even allowed that. Not as long as, like I said, they're a Chinese company, and as long as China's government requires that all their companies disclose any information they want to the Chinese government.
JC Gaming said, off topic, I had a Solomon burger.
Salmon
burger.
Solomon.
Sorry. My bad. It looked like an A to me, sorry.
Solomon Grundy.
I'm pulling a blue, I'm butchering words. Sorry, I just butchered more words.
Butchering?
My bad.
You just butchered the word butcher by butcher.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
I even get how salmon turns into Solomon, but It's just a really interesting, like a Solomon burger.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry, I was looking at the corner of my right
Is that
eye.
like
I'm
a
blind.
religious
I have an
beef patty?
excuse.
Like-
I'm blind. I have
Is
a
that
right.
religious
I'm
beef patty
blind.
by a religious cow made by a religious.
I'm sorry, but my
burger?
screen's on the right side of me, so like it's blurry to me. So I thought it was Solomon until I turned my head around.
oh, purple,
Do
and
you
of course it's
solemnly
just
swear
coins.
to eat the Solomon burger?
Yeah, does that go with Ran Handle too?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh man.
Rev and his logic.
Holy
Good
shit. I
shit.
just realized. I was. I said,
Rev in his own personal English dialect. What are you talking about?
Right.
JC Gaming says, Rev, stop drinking. Yes, sir.
the drinking never stops.
No, it never stops. Neither does the
It's also-
smoking.
Now being
Yeah,
being
P, you stop
blind, yeah,
smoking.
that never
or
stops,
the doing
man.
of other drugs.
Listen,
Or
cocaine's
the-
very good for you.
Or the hookers and blackjack.
I heard cocaine, really
Hookers
makes
and blow?
strong bones.
All right.
Hookers and blow. Yep. Make the best
Man,
parties.
dude, I should come up with a pizza joint called Blackjack and Hookers, dude. Make tons of money. Have hot chicks bring you pizza. Shit, how much money you would make?
And you have to eat the pizza from their boobs.
I'd be down.
I don't know. Pizza.
Well, no,
off
because
boobs?
I don't want law officials coming to my business and arresting me.
Not.
For
You worry about getting
prostitution.
arrested? What are you, a quitter?
What? You won't get arrested for prostitution if you live in Nevada. Just saying.
Yeah, see?
As long as you live in Nevada, you're good.
Yep. Yep. Because some of these hookers out here are hot as fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, all right. That's almost 2 hours. That's almost on the dot. So we'll be going to overtime. Just give us 5, 10, 15 minutes, and we'll see y'all again. If not, we'll see y'all next week. Peace out.